What's going on, everybody? It's Big T with GreenWallSt.com, back with another trading video. It's been a little bit, but we're back here once again, and hopefully y'all are having a decent time, decent quarter, year, month trading. Got a little bit slower there for a little bit, but ever since some of the trades we're going to look at today, Bed Bath & Beyond, there's been a decent amount of trade opportunities, at least in like the momentum world. So that's good. Hope everybody's killing it. GreenWallSt.com. If y'all want to, join up and trade with us each day, feel free. If not, and you just want to watch the vids and try to improve your game a little bit, expand your horizons, that's fine too. So anyway, this is from a few weeks ago. Obviously, Bed Bath & Beyond in this video is $19 a share. Today, I think it's like $5 or $6. So these trades might not look as good in hindsight, considering how far they fell. But in the moment, you don't know, and you just gotta trade with the information you got. So that's what I do. Bed Bath & Beyond on the right-hand chart, BWV on the left-hand chart. Bigger picture ideas on these are pretty much the same. BWV had ran from 250 to 8. BBBY had ran from 5 to 30 or whatever. And today they're both opening weak. BWV's down 32%. BBBY is down 17%. So I'm looking for strength in those stocks. I'm looking for bounces to short, assuming that we have started a downtrend in the stock now. So I'm letting them overextend, let them go crazy. I love when stocks go crazy. People think that as a short seller, I want stocks to go down. I do, but only after they go up a lot, right? I want longs to win, for a little bit, not too long, but for a little bit at least. So anyway, that's the plan on the names, and I'll show you kind of how I traded them. So BWV, market's open now. I've already shorted a little bit of BBBY just in case that was the only pop that we got, but we end up bouncing a little bit higher, thankfully. BWV, the range is crazy, and I think the key here is just what I've been trying to work on recently is, not really sizing into a trade until I feel like the trend is in my favor. So even though I feel like I'm on the backside of these trades, I'm still looking for a signal that's going to trigger that next leg down in the stock. And because I've spent a long time trying to get the best entries into stocks, and what I've realized is, one of my weaknesses I feel as a trader is I have really great entries, but sometimes that's to a fault. And my entries will be so good that the stock will flush out and I'll have an immediate winner, but I end up only capturing 20% of the move, right? Of the entire move down, instead of maybe even getting a slightly worse entry, but capturing 70% of the meat of the move. But I felt like on this day I really did a good job of that. So even though it looks like, I shorted some at 540 and now it's at 590, I'm still really small in the trade, right? I'm just trying to get a decent average, and then I'm waiting for that signal, and then I'm slamming into it with my balls on the table. So BWV kind of working into that. BBBY, same deal. As we are getting these bounces and we're 3 minutes into the open, I'm working into them, trying not to get oversized, waiting for that signal, and then, like I said, dropping the hammer on them. So BBBY is up at 20 now. I'm risking pretty much up to 23. If it goes green on the day, I was going to stop out, reassess. And BWV, even though I'm still relatively small size in this, I still felt like I could get a better average. I've got a 573 average at this point, and the stock's trading at 6. So I think I use one of these pullbacks, maybe this one here, to reposition in the trade, cover some, and then, so I waited a little bit longer, covered it. I've still got, really small amount on, but now I feel like I'm in better control of the trade. You always want to feel that you are in control of the trade, and the trade's not in control of you. So I'm in some, but not much. right? And BBBY is starting to roll over. I'm trying to think bigger picture context, let the trade work for me instead of just taking a scalp, even if I'm up, and I'm up decently on BBBY, where normally, I'd be up $500-600 and I'd start taking some off. It's like, for what? You know what I mean? You got this trade. You got in it at the perfect time. It started working right away. Why are you going to take that trade off? You know what I mean? Just, you got to be okay with giving back unrealized profits and really let those winners win, especially when there's a lot of meat on the downside of the trade. BBBY ran from 5. It's still at 18. So even if it's falling, I mean, shit, today is September 12th. I don't know what BBBY is at. It's at like 5 or something. But speaking of like signals and things like that, you can see BWV on the left-hand side here. This actually ended up being the bigger of the two trades. A lot of times it's like, a lot of people trade patterns in the market, which is totally fine. But what I've found a lot of success in is not necessarily these patterns like the triangle and the hexagon and the upside down head and shoulders bullshit. Like, what really works, in my opinion, and maybe those work, but what I've found a lot of success in is not even the patterns themselves. It's just the failure of those patterns. Because, like, say you got this perfect looking triangle, and you could even make the case that BWV has that look, right? It's got that big pop in the morning. It's holding over VWAP. It's got some consolidation going, big wicks. It's trading a lot of volume, a lot of buy volume. It looks relatively bullish. It looks like, hey, if this breaks out over 610, it's probably going to go, right? Those are the types of situations where I don't necessarily want to, I mean, I do at this point just because I've seen it a lot and you can get better at anticipating it. But that's where I really want to pay attention. And if that fails to pan out, that's where there's a lot of edge, because everybody buying in anticipation of this move and they see the breakout and they're, everybody's buy. And, timid shorts are covering. If it works, then it's fine, right? If it goes to 610, 620, 650, 7, it squeezes. Okay, great. But, if you get that breakout attempt and it doesn't work, well, now all of a sudden, everybody that bought all that volume, right, that just came into the trade, it now has to come out. And it's the unwinding of that trade that didn't work that is my trade, right? So as everybody comes out of it, that's where I want to be taking profits. So at the moment I see that trade fail, that's where I want to have the most size in. I mentioned that because those are the types of signals that I'm waiting on to get that size. As soon as I see the attempt, I see the fail, that's where I want to have my balls on the table. And you'll see it in real time here in just a moment on this BWV. So let me just skip ahead briefly. Again, you can see it, teasing over 6. It looks scary. And it's that scary moment where the money is made, right? So I'm still in BWV. I've got a 580 average on my starters, but it's this ad here where I'm really risking, right? Because this one, BWV, like, sometimes I will wait for confirmation. But other times, if I really have conviction in the trade, BWV was a multi-day runner. It had been squeezing shorts. It was eventually going to be over. And on a day that, the stock is down 20%, I was betting that today was that day, right? So I shorted into that move, right, in order to get the best risk reward. But it's riskier, right? Because if it goes to 7, I'm going to get my ass beat. But didn't go to 7, and you'll see that here momentarily. So again, this is, kind of the breakout move, highest volume candle of the day. And when it shits its pants like that, that is the moment. This is where I want the most size on. Right now is when I want to be sized into the trade, because now longs are off sides. That is the signal. That is the trend shift. That is the tape shift that I'm looking for. And it doesn't always pan out as well as BWV. Like I said, this ended up being my best day of the year because of these two trades. But if I can consistently put myself in these situations, good things tend to happen over long periods of time. So that's kind of what I focus on. And again, like me focusing on exits more. Normally, you know, I'm up close to, you know, $600 or something on this trade already, but it just started working, right? It just started. So instead of taking a $600 win, I am not even considering it. If anything, I was thinking about adding here, because I'm trying to get better at capturing more of the winning trades versus, you know, just getting that winning trade and immediately scaling out. And once it hits my wider targets, I've got no shares left. So BWV, I'm sitting in it. I'm letting a winner work, and I'm okay that if it comes back on me, fuck it. It comes back on me. It hasn't reached my targets, my higher time frame targets. BBBY, you know, flushing out under the lows of the day. Normally, I'd probably be out of the trade here, right? But for what? It came from 5. It's still at 17. Let it work. So letting it work. BWV ends up halting down, so it loses that 550 support, trades under the lows of the day. Finally, as we start to halt down, then I cover some. I covered like a third here. Normally, I would have been all out of the trade, but I'm trying to let these work more. And with that, you know, you're gonna have a lower win rate, but your winners are gonna be bigger. So I was taking some screenshots just to kind of visually show the Discord and everybody how I'm trading this, because obviously, you know, in the Discord we're walking through this stuff in real time and trading together and trying to get the best trades on. And then finally, as we come out of the halt, I cover the rest of BWV. It looks like I over covered some, and I'm 100 shares long at this point. Didn't even realize that. So yeah, I probably just sell this. Yeah, there we go. So I end up selling the shares that I overcovered and waited for Bed Bath & Beyond, you know, some volume to come out, flush under another kind of whole dollar mark at 17. And then I finally covered the trades. So again, just trying to capture more of these moves. Still, if you look at BWV and BBBY today, these are way lower, but I'm not swing trading these. So it doesn't matter to me much, but that ended up being the best day of the year for me, just really on those two trades, because of the size that I was using and because of the range that was given, that you know, good things ended up happening. So hopefully that makes sense. Thank you all for tuning in. Once again, GreenWallSt.com if y'all want to join up and learn how to trade, or if you already know how to trade and just want to join a community and you know, get some feedback and, you know, trade alongside other people, you can do that. And if not, you just want to watch the videos, that's fine too. Thank you all for tuning in. I will catch you right back here next time. Peace out, everybody.